bottom of your shot, and Exeter over there in their green and white kit on the Buckinghamshire station.
That's a couple of blinding starts there. They're absolutely brilliant from both crews. It's another thing as well about the Exeter crew. I think Sophie Coltman sitting in there. She's from spending a year out in Australia. It's been a bit of a tough road for her recently. Had a couple of back injuries at the start earlier in her career, but she's gone through the program. She's put the hard work in, doing those early mornings that we all know about in the rowing world. She's back racing today. Part of this Exeter crew who have stuck with the Edinburgh Uni crews at the start here. Both looking at very strong there from the Edinburgh crew. Just might be even a bit of coming together there. Could made it safely through the booms, which is always the first challenge at Henley. But Exeter staying with them at the moment. Of course, this Edinburgh crew had a bit of an easy time. Still tough, but a bit better than going through the quarter-final against St Andrews Uni. A bit of a battle of the Scots there. Gone by 1.5 lengths to be here in this semi-final. And it looks like they've lengthened out to come through the Temple Meadows here. Looking very nice and strong.
Yeah, Edinburgh not messing about. Quarter mile mark. Just see Exeter's bow pointing in somewhat the wrong direction, but Edinburgh with about a length at the quarter mile, which is an impressive start for them, opening 50 strokes. They've established pretty good lead.
Very good lead, especially from that start as well. So you're picking up that rhythm as well. You can see there, taking the catch, taking a nice long catch as well. Exeter, I think, a couple of pips above them there. Just trying to stay with them, I think, but Edinburgh are pushing away every time, and that's so important when you're in this early stages. You want to see that crew getting further away. So they come through here. Clear water, already about 1.5 lengths there. Exeter just trying to stay with them at the moment. Umpire just forcing them there. Don't worry, the umpire's just forcing the Edinburgh crew to their side on the Berkshire side there. As we're coming into the regatta enclosure here on a gorgeous day, looking at this fantastic drone footage, just a soaring shot there of the Edinburgh crew as they soar across through the racecourse themselves. Just staying with the mighty little adjustment there, but of course this Edinburgh crew. A lot of experience in here. Got Beth Payne in there, got gold in novice 8s at Bucks 2016. We won senior 4s at the Reading Amateur Regatta recently as well. So good form coming into Henley Women's, which is always important. Lots of races in May and June. You want to build up as much form and confidence as possible. Make sure that you're coming into these races at your peak. Yeah, just going back to that drone shot as well. They've almost built up to about almost 2.5 lengths there. The Exeter crew tried to keep that early pace, but it just seems to have gone away from them as they come about midway through the regatta enclosure. Edinburgh taking the rate down quite a lot now. It's always nice when you can do that. Still a little bit further to go, but barring any errors here, it looks like Exeter just putting a push in, but barring any errors, could be Edinburgh's day at this early stage of Henley Women's.
Well, absolutely. Edinburgh enjoying their semi-final in the Henley sunshine, coming up to midday here. Thoroughly enjoyable morning of racing already completed. We've got a full programme of racing to come this afternoon, but yeah, Edinburgh producing a pretty good performance there in race 330. Race 331 next on the course, another semi-final of the aspirational academic Coxless Fours, the University of London Boat Club on the Berkshire station, and a crew from Holland, KSRV Nord on the Buckinghamshire station. Very much looking forward to seeing how either of these crews can do. Some phenomenal ergo scores in the Nord boat. They've provided us with their ergo scores, and they've all looked pretty impressive. But we could just see on the screen there some replays from earlier, and actually that fantastic race between Phillips, Andover Academy, and National Cathedral School, which actually ended in a dead heat officially. So I'm not quite sure what the protocol is for those two crews now.
I don't think I've ever seen that before at Henley. That's an incredible race, and it was so exciting to see that. It looked like the National Cathedral School were just maintaining that race, but it's just shows great character from a crew to be able to put that final push in at the end. I remember we did when I was rowing at Henley a couple of times. Way back in 2011, I think that's a memory that'll stay with me. We raced against Eton, I think, and it was Princess Elizabeth. Eton were staying above us, but I think we decided to pull a rate 40 on them going into the enclosure, and he finished by half a length. But I suppose the lesson from that was just make sure even towards the end, stay there.
Absolutely, it's all about staying with it. And unfortunately for this Nord crew, this is not what they've managed to do. Whatever composure you showed coming into the enclosures there, Warren, at Henley Royal Regatta in 2011, they have not shown anything like that sort of composure here in their semi-final. They've allowed UL to just get away. I think they had a collision with the booms.
It looks like we've mentioned it so many times this morning. It shows how important your steering is. These booms are so deceptive. You want to keep the best line, of course. As you come out of the temple there, you want to try and keep towards the middle of the river, but they've just taken a little bit too much of a risk there, and it's really cost them.
Well, that's a real shame, actually, because I was looking forward to an excellent race between those two crews, but alas, it doesn't look like it's going to be, and UL will be absolutely delighted with that result, because what it means for them is that they can try and enjoy themselves and conserve a bit of energy as they were coming down the course. We can just see there another replay of that phenomenal finish between Andover and Cathedral School. Now, my eyesight's not the best. I really can't pick a winner between the two of them. It's going to be a tough job for those finishing judges.
I think so. You've got to give credit to them. But it's one of those races where it's brilliant to be on the sidelines for it, but it's horrible to be part
Absolutely. I imagine, as I said, Green Lake crew, who are in the other semi-final, will be delighted that both crews have pushed themselves so hard. We can just see UL and Nord making their way down the course. Nord paying the price here. If you've only just joined us, for a collision with the booms earlier on. So often crews come across from abroad and have problems navigating what is a notoriously tricky Henley women's regatta course. You can just see UL there making their way down. Winners of the academic women's 4, two of these members of this UL crew actually won the academic women's Cox 4 at Henley Women's Regatta in 2016 and 2017, and all 4 of these girls won a silver medal in the intermediate 8 at Bucks Regatta this year. So a crew with plenty of pedigree and proving too much, both in terms of speed and steering acumen here.
Of course, it's a real shame, I think, because this would have been really exciting if that start had gone off. This side from the Netherlands, about 14 years of experience between them, and most of those 2Ks as well were pushing the 7-minute barrier. So it's a shame that they couldn't, but I mean, it's important not to be complacent in these scenarios as well, mate. Even if there's been an error, anything can happen on this course. We've seen it so many times. So just make sure that you're keeping that long and strong stroke. But just want to make sure they keep this Netherlands crew at distance.
Well, UL certainly not dropping the intensity. You can see the pain etched on the face of their stroke girl. She's not allowing her crew to relax at all. It's hard to know how close Nord are to them. I can't imagine that the Dutch crew would be able to come back, although we did see a Tideway Scholars School crew row down from 4 lengths yesterday to actually win their race, so never say never, especially not at Henley. But UL were about 3 lengths up coming past us just before the barrier, and I can't imagine Nord, again, I'm just looking down the course, they are once again having trouble with their steering. It seems like their rudder is all over the shop. See another replay.
I think, yeah.
Of that 8's finish.
Just having a pause here. It looks like very much a photo finish.
I mean, that right there, I couldn't tell you. Maybe the bow ball of Phillips Andover in the blue shell might have just got that on the surge. But my goodness me. Ooh. That is truly the definition of a dead heat, isn't it?
That really is. It's like pushing your chest out when you're on and it's almost like when you're on the 100 meters, pushing your chest out there. That's exactly the same thing. You just want to lunge for that last bit of length, bit of distance.
Well, there we go. We can see UL coming down the course. They really haven't relaxed very much. Obviously wary of Nord mounting some sort of dramatic comeback.
Well, there's certainly a difference. They're keeping that rate up. It may be a little bit messy there, but they are keeping the rate up, and they are sort of trying to eat away at UL's lead that they've got, but they are keeping it there. Of course, we've already mentioned that this UL crew has got some winning form coming into this. Wins in this event in 2016, 2017, but also more importantly, silvers and golds galore at Bucks Regatta as well. So they know all about getting through to finals and coming out with the right results. And they'll be looking forward to that later today by the looks of things.
Yeah, there we go, UL. Crossing the line, comfortably clear of KSRV Nord, who, due to troubles with their steering, unfortunately aren't able to give an accurate or fair representation of their abilities, but you have to deal with all the elements here at Henley Women's Regatta, and quite simply Nord did not manage to do that. So we will be having a final between Edinburgh and the University of London in the academic aspirational fours. So we move on to aspirational club eights, the City of Bristol A on the Berkshire station, and the Tideway Scullers School A on the Buckinghamshire station, just waiting for those two crews to leave the start.
Okay. All right. As we've got a little break in racing here, we've got a couple of results to bring you as well. First of all, from the junior single sculls, and that is for the Di Ellis Trophy. Got Exeter's Phoebe Muir. She raced away to win over Leicester's Lauren Henley. That was a pretty convincing win there. We've got 3 lengths. That win was there. So that was a very comfortable race we saw earlier. Also in the other semi-final for that Di Ellis Trophy in the junior single sculls, it was the Agecroft rower, Georgina Dooley, that came up top over Landaf's Ankarad Broten. And that was by 4 lengths in a time of 6 minutes and 5. So that'll be a really exciting final there between Phoebe Muir and Georgina Dooley. Lots of experience between those two, especially on this Henley course. We've just had the results as well for race 330, which in the aspirational academic coxswain fours for the Cathy Cruikshank Trophy. That was won by Edinburgh Uni in an interesting race over Uni of Exeter. Won by 2 lengths, time of 5 minutes 19 seconds. Of course, Edinburgh looked very much in control there. And we will just wait for confirmation on that University of London v KSR v Njord race. But of course, the crash at the start of that race didn't get them off to the best of starts. looking at the screen. If you were with us earlier, we had that incredibly exciting race between where's it? Between two crews here. We're just having a photo finish here between National Cathedral and the Phillips Academy, which we saw earlier, which had us absolutely enthralled here in the commentary box, which is absolutely brilliant. We're just going through the. It was pretty much a photo finish when we saw it. We can call it at the top here, but we are still waiting the results on that. That was just the highlights that you saw there. Just seeing a couple of other results here. It's been a fantastic morning of rowing on this Sunday at Henley Women's Regatta 2018. Sun has been shining, crowds have been out, and looks like we're just going to be going through the racing, just having a couple of highlights down at the bottom there. And here's that photo finish again between the two crews, and we're just waiting for results to be confirmed on that for you. As we say, still waiting for the pictures there. Just remind us of this drone footage. I've seen. I'm just going to keep going over this that incredible race. I mean, it's a first for me. I mean, I've been to Henley a couple of times. Love a bit of Henley racing. I don't think I've ever seen a dead heat before. So this is really having the race umpires debating this, because it's so difficult to call. But when you've got that final lunge there, just slowing the pictures down, almost neck and neck going into the finish there. Just incredible to see. Just having a look at that picture there. Got the National Cathedral School on the far side, in the black boat, and the Phillips Academy in the blue on the Berkshire side. That's pretty much neck and neck. Are you ready for this? So Lancaster. Our footage now. We're gonna come away from the water. We're gonna turn our eyes to the sky now on this glorious Sunday here at Henley Women's Regatta. Just waiting for the midday flyover to come over. Going to be waiting for a Lancaster bomber. Just absolutely fantastic to see these machines coming along the course here on a beautiful day. So, yeah, this is actually a second time for me seeing one of these. I've seen him down at Bournemouth Fair Festival a couple of times. They always love to come down there and wow the crowds, but they're going to come in Wales on the Berkshire and Buckinghamshire sides here on this historic course. Everyone in the rowing community knows so well. We're just going to wait to see them at the moment. Got lots of rowing coming up for you today, and a range of championship, aspirational, academics, from development crews, junior crews as well, which we've seen so much quality rowing today, which has been absolutely brilliant. And we'll wait for that flyover to come. Everybody keep an eye. Got the binoculars out as well. I think you'll need them if you're a keen plane spotter out there today. But yeah, the plane we're going to be looking at here is going to be the Avro Lancaster, British 4-engine. Of course, happened in the Second World War. Designed and manufactured by Avro as a contemporary of the Henley Page Halifax. And here she comes now. That's a machine filling the skies with that famous hum, and it gets louder and louder. It's making its way down the course. Might be a course record for the day, I think, coming today. You can even hear them here. Absolutely wonderful to see these machines out in the skies. And it's going to come round again. So if you missed it that time there, got the photographers, make sure. Lots of opportunities there for a good shot. Of course, you see the Temple Island up there as well. Lots of crews. Very difficult to negotiate out. We saw that earlier with the last race that we saw, because the KSRV Njord Netherlands crew had a difficult time coming out of that, handing University of London the win there. And it looks like we're going to come back to the racing as our two crews for the Aspirational Club 8 are lining up for the Invesco Perpetual Challenge Cup, sponsored by Invesco Perpetual. We have City of Bristol on the Berkshire side and Tideway Scholars School on the Buckinghamshire side. We'll wait for the race to start. Yep. There you go. Coming back down the course is the Avro Lancaster bomber. Of course, had great servitude in the Second World War. Coming back up the course now this time. A beautiful shot that is of the underbelly. Such a magnificent beast. He might have even outdone me on the commentary volume there. A magnificent beast coming through there with the 4 engines that you can see so famous on this glorious Sunday at Henley Women's Regatta, as we will rejoin the racing soon, as we've enjoyed the treat from the skies. Just panning out there, a beautiful summer's day. Looks like it's going to be coming around again this time as Lancaster bomber. It's coming around again. Just going to cut through the half of the course here. Again, just to remind you, these bombers were of course adopted for the Royal Air Force in the wartime era. It's fantastic to see these air engines coming out again to wow the crowds here at Henley Women's Regatta. Just missing there, but yeah, sunshine. What a glorious day to have these machines out. We will rejoin the racing again for the Aspirational Club 8s for the Invesco Perpetual Challenge Cup, sponsored by Invesco Perpetual, which will be starting shortly between City of Bristol and Tideway Scholars School. What a race that could be. Just got another result to bring you all for race 331 in the Aspirational Academic 4s. That was, of course, won by University of London. They beat KSRV Noord of the Netherlands. That was by 1.5 lengths in 5 minutes and 7. So Shane, that could have been a really competitive race. Of course, the Netherlands crew